You loved her. You gave her everything, your time, your loyalty, your patience. You waited for her when she was distant. You forgave her when she was cold. You explained yourself 1,000 times hoping she'd finally understand. And still, she chose to walk away. Or worse, she stayed and slowly tore you down. And now you're sitting there, confused, empty, angry, wondering what the hell went wrong. Let me tell you something that no one tells you when you're breaking inside. When a woman hurts you, it's not always about what you did wrong. Sometimes it's about what you allowed. Sometimes it's about how much of yourself you gave up just to keep her around. And now that she's gone, or acting like you never mattered, you feel powerless. But that's where you're wrong. Because this pain is your power. And this moment, right here, where you're sitting with all your broken expectations, this is where you either become the version of yourself who chases, or the man who transforms. She hurt you. But now, you show her what losing you really means. Not through begging, not through trying to convince her, not through showing her how good of a man you are. No, you show her by becoming the kind of man that she can never reach again. Because here's the truth. Most men don't understand what women truly respond to. They think it's flowers, good morning texts, constant reassurance. But the deeper psychology, the part they never teach you, is that a woman only values what she feels she could lose, not what she's guaranteed to keep, especially when she's lost respect for you. When a woman no longer fears losing you, she stops trying, she tests you more, she withholds more, she makes you feel like you're chasing a ghost. And the worst part, you keep chasing, because your mind is stuck on what used to be, while hers is reacting to what you've become. A man who gave away his center just to be loved. But love without respect is not love, it's convenience. And you were never meant to be someone's emotional convenience. You were meant to be a man who stands tall, even when his heart is shattered. So here's what you do now. You stop trying to fix what she broke. You stop trying to understand why she changed. And you stop trying to remind her of who you were, because none of that matters to her now. What matters is who you become after she stopped seeing your worth. Women, especially those who took you for granted, are watching. They may not admit it, they may not say a word, but they're watching. They watch how you react to the breakup. They watch how you carry yourself in silence. They watch how quickly you fall apart or how quickly you rise. And I promise you, nothing shakes a woman more than the realization that the man she hurt didn't crumble, that the man who once would have done anything to keep her no longer responds, no longer texts, no longer begs. He just evolves. That's when it hits her. Not when you post about how much you miss her. Not when you try to make her jealous. But when your absence starts screaming louder than your words ever could. When she sees you reclaim your time, your focus, your mission without her. That's when she feels the real consequences of her actions. Because contrary to what people think, walking away isn't about ego. It's about self-respect. And when you've been disrespected, overlooked, or emotionally manipulated, the most powerful thing you can do isn't react. It's disappear from her world and reappear in your own as someone she never imagined losing. But let me make something clear. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about games. It's about remembering that you are not a man to be broken by someone else's indecision. You are not a man whose value is determined by how much someone else chooses to see it. Your worth is non-negotiable, and the moment you start acting like it, the world around you starts to shift. Because here's what really happens when you stop chasing a woman who hurt you. She starts chasing the version of you that doesn't need her anymore, not because she's evil, not because she enjoys seeing you suffer, but because human nature values what is scarce, not what is desperate. Women are emotional creatures. They're drawn to strength, not submission, to clarity, not confusion, to power, not pleading. And when you become emotionally disciplined, when you show that you can feel deeply but act rationally, you become the kind of man who cannot be ignored. Because you're no longer reacting like a boy. You're responding like a man who's been to hell and back and came out sharper. But emotional discipline isn't just silence. It's mastery. It's choosing not to argue when she provokes you. It's choosing not to explain your worth when she doubts it. It's walking away when your presence is no longer respected. Because here's a brutal truth. If she sees you willing to tolerate disrespect, she'll give you more of it. But if she sees that you walk, calmly, confidently, without drama. The moment you're not honored, that leaves an impression. That silence, that absence, that calm detachment, it cuts deeper than anger ever could, because it shows her that her behavior had real consequences. You see, women remember the men who walked away without a sound more than the ones who shouted at the door. They replay the calm exits in their mind, the ones who left not because they didn't care, but because they cared about themselves more. That's how you make her feel the loss. Not by trying to make her regret it, not by proving anything, but by living in such a way that your existence without her becomes more powerful than your presence ever was with her. She hurt you. Yes, but that was her moment. Now it's yours. And the beauty of this moment is that it forces you to confront the version of yourself you've been suppressing. The strong version, the disciplined version, the version that doesn't negotiate with disrespect, doesn't cling to what's gone, doesn't sell his soul just to be loved. Because here's what most men don't understand. True strength isn't how much you can tolerate, it's how quickly you can detach from what weakens you. And if you've ever begged, pleaded, or over-explained yourself to a woman who couldn't care less, you know what weakness feels like. You know that quiet shame, that helplessness, that sense that you're no longer yourself. So now, it's time to come home to yourself. It's time to stop asking questions like, does she still love me? And start asking, why did I abandon myself to begin with? Because this is the part of the journey no one wants to talk about. The part where you stop seeing her as the prize and start becoming the man who doesn't need prizes to feel whole. The part where you stop looking for closure and realize that her silence was all the closure you needed. The part where you stop wondering if she's with someone else and start becoming someone that no woman would dare play with again. That's your path now. Not to heal so she'll want you back, but to heal so you'll never want that version of yourself again. The version who tolerated confusion, the version who ignored the red flags, the version who kept holding on because he believed love meant suffering. It doesn't. Real love doesn't confuse you. It doesn't humiliate you. It doesn't punish you for caring. So when a woman shows you that she doesn't value your heart, that's your signal to stop offering it. Not to shut down emotionally, but to become selective. Selective with your time, your energy, your kindness, your loyalty. Because once you realize what your presence is worth, you stop giving it to people who treat it like it's disposable. And that's when you win. That's when she feels it. That's when your silence becomes a mirror. That's when she realizes she didn't just lose a man, she lost the version of you that would have walked through fire for her. And that version, he's gone. What's left now is a man who's focused, unshaken, a man who doesn't seek revenge but respects himself so much that her absence becomes a blessing. So let her wonder, let her scroll through your old photos, let her sit in silence when your name comes up, let her feel that strange ache when she realizes that the man she thought would always be there isn't. That's not petty. That's evolution. That's what happens when a man reclaims his power. And if you feel like you're still in pain, still lost in memories, still hoping she'll come back, that's okay. Just don't act from that place. Feel it, but don't chase. Let the pain shape you, not define you. Because this version of you that's being born through heartbreak, he's stronger, wiser, quieter, and more powerful than you've ever been.